Hello there, beautiful yogis, and welcome back, if you've seen the first video, to my Chakra Flow series of yoga practices with our chakras. If you haven't watched the first one, you can go back and watch that one, which you can also find, which is called Muladhara Chakra Flow. Today we are working on the second chakra, which is called Svadhisthana. So Svadhisthana is situated in our pelvic area. Now, the first chakra is all about finding stability and grounding. It's our root. And the second chakra, our sacral chakra, is once that we've found that stability, once we've found the grounding, then we are free to allow ourselves to move. So actually, the second chakra is all about movement instead. It's about finding the trust in yourself in a certain way to be able to let go. Now, when it comes to the physical body, since we are talking about the pelvis, there's also an explanation to this idea of movement, because the second chakra is also then represented by water for the elements. It's fluidity and flow. You see, in the pelvic area, all the fluids of the body will pass. So whenever we need to warm up the body, even though we are not even always aware of it ourselves, we usually actually start by moving our hips. So the more we move our hips, the more we increase the flow of the fluids of the body. And then we will start to feel the warming sensation everywhere. Just like when you're dancing, when you hear music that you enjoy, you start to move your hips. It might just be that you're moving by tapping your foot, but what you're really doing is that you move your hips. And then you get that pleasurable sensation that movement brings by warming up, moving your fluids, moving the blood, the energy, and warming up the body. So that is actually the physical link to the need of movement of the pelvic area. If we would go into a more subtle level, situated in the pelvic area means as well that on a more hormonal level, what we're talking about here is our reproductive organs. So it's very much linked to sexuality and who we are as a sexual being. And so therefore linked to desire, our need to reproduce, to pleasure, and therefore the demon that they say of the chakra, which is guilt. Now, very often people have conflicted relationships to their own sexuality, to the capacity to give and receive pleasure. And it's all very much linked to our childhood and learning how to be in society, what's accepted and what is not accepted. But if I would take this even further, when we go into our grown-up life, this idea of pleasure even becomes a luxury in itself. And so instead of allowing ourselves to simply enjoy things for the sake of taking pleasure of something, we tend to have a need of a result or a purpose of whatever we do, which means that we start to put in conditions and constraints in order to be productive. And the need to be productive is usually then what comes in and kills the doing for the sake of pleasure. It is when we increase the flow of the body and the sensation then that comes in, which is a pleasurable sensation, that we also allow ourselves to slow down our nervous system. And when we slow down the nervous system, we are actually becoming more present. And it's only when we're in that state of presence, of release of tension, of expansion actually, that we can start to create. So our capacity to create, our inspiration, is very much linked as well to our second chakra. So the flow that we will be doing today is a flow of a continuous movement. It's less focused on alignment and stillness, but more of creating a flow in order to create a pleasurable sensation. And remember, not so much for the sake of doing, for a result, but for the pleasure of it. So it's our right to feel and to enjoy. Let's get started. So first of all, come into a cross-legged seated position. Close your eyes. Let your sitting bones sink into your mat. Allow your hips to become heavy. Engage Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. This means contract your pelvic muscle, so your root, and then lift that muscle up, lift the perineum into the depth of your body, and then pull your lower abdomen in as well, in order to help the spine to elongate. Relax your shoulders, lengthening the neck, and then simply turn your attention towards your breath, towards your nostrils. And remember that this conditioning moment you can do for as many minutes as you choose. Progressively start to come into a yogic breath. Maybe an ujjayi breath, maybe simply breathing through your nose. Allow the whole body to find itself into this position and to start to relax. Start noticing each part of the body that touches the ground. Going to start to move our pelvic bone to warm up. So with your eyes still closed, simply start making circles with your upper body. As you go forward, inhale, and then as you go back, you exhale. Now ideally we're doing this with the eyes closed so that we really focus on the sensation. Start noticing here as you make these circles, how you're pushing the sitting bones into your mat when you go to the sides, the tailbone as you go back, and then you're tilting the pubic bone forward as you go forward. You're doing the whole tour of the pelvic bone. And you might start to notice now that you come into a rhythm, and that quite automatically this movement starts to combine with the rhythm of your breath, which brings a very natural, organic sensation into the body. When we talk about the second chakra, we talk about feeling, emotions and feelings. And where that starts is simply by recognizing what a sensation is. Change direction, go the other way. And as you do so, you might notice that it feels all of a sudden less natural, because you're going in the direction that you are not used to doing. But then after a moment, the body comes into the rhythm again, and the breath and body starts to combine together, working together in order to create space physically and allow the energetic flow to increase, which is really what we're searching for in the physical part of yoga. And then come back to center, simply neutralize your spine. Each time that we stop a movement, take one moment to just notice in what way your body feels different after this. Then on an inhale, push your torso forward, let your shoulders roll back, arching the spine. And then exhale, round the spine, shoulders forward, press the tailbone back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, go back. Inhale, come forward. And then exhale. Let's do that a bit faster. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Continue a few more rounds. Notice how the body starts to warm up little by little. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one. And come back to center and simply neutralize your spine. Once again, notice each time in what way the sensations in the body changes. And from here we put our hands behind us. So I'm going to turn so you can see the movement more easily. Your hands come behind you, pressing your hands into the ground. Pelvic lifts. So on an inhale, pressing the hands down, lift your hips. Knees come down, let your head fall back, open your whole front. Exhale, come back seated. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. Up, down, open, close. A few more. Combining, of course, completely with breath. And come back. So once again, just notice each sensation in your body right now. Notice your breathing. Notice the warmth that is spreading. Then bring your hands around and come into a tabletop position. Spread the fingers wide, press the whole hand into the ground, turn your elbows towards the body to broaden the collarbone, open up. On an inhale, lift your tailbone, broaden and look up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone underneath you, chin to the chest, rounding your spine. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Take one more inhale where you open up. And as you exhale, start to round and come into downward facing dog. Straight away, come back down on hands and knees. Inhale, open up. Exhaling to downward dog. And keep making these movements as fluid as possible. Hands and knees, inhale, open. Exhale, rounding and downward facing. Hands and knees, inhale, open. Exhale into downward facing dog. Stay in your downward facing dog. So maybe here you need to move around, to do your walking dog, to move your hips, to allow your chest to move along as well, to sway. That is perfectly fine. As soon as you feel that you warmed up in your downward dog enough, come to stillness. Now we're going for a slow motion variation of the vinyasa. So, in order to create that fluid sensation in the body, start to inhale. Lift first just your heels. Let your hips lift real high. Then start to round your spine. And as if you had a wave coming through the body, come all the way up to plank position. Exhale, lower down for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then from here, gently lift your hips. Keep your feet on the ground. So you come back into that wavy sensation, engaging the lower belly. Stay at the top for another 2 breaths. And then gently roll back into downward facing dog. Let's repeat that 2 more times. Inhale. Round, coming all the way up to plank. Exhaling for chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And slowly lift it. Keep your feet the way they are. Engage the lower belly, waking up. Another 2 breaths here. Bring your chest as close to your thighs as you can. And then roll over. Last one. Inhale, heels, hips, round your spine. Coming all the way up to plank. Lower down for Chakra. Upward dog. And lifting the hips. Pulling the lower belly in. Engage. Connect to your very lowest part of the abdomen. And then roll over. Inhale and lift the right leg up. Push the heel away. Exhale, bring the knee towards your chest and then your shoulders over your hands and round your spine. Inhale, push the foot up again. Exhale, bend the knee and simply open it, looking towards the right. Inhale, straight leg. Exhale, step the foot in between your hands and lower the left knee to the ground. Lift yourself up. Let your arms rest by the sides of the body and sink into your hip, and then roll the shoulders back. Reach up towards the sky with your torso. Inhale. Exhale, bring both hands to the inside of the right foot, and then walk the right foot out. Sink really low with your hip, starting to allow the left leg to reach back, to stretch out. Look forward. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, Malasana or yogic squat. Bring the back foot forward. Sinking low with your hips, hands together in front of your heart. Pressing your elbows into your knees, lengthen your neck. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Lift your hips. Now either hands on the shins or fingertips on the ground, depending on how your hamstrings feel. Walk them forward and start to lift your tailbone, arching the lower back. Looking forward. Inhale. Exhale, sink back down. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, hands down. Now, we stepped up with the right foot first, so step back with the right foot first. Coming back to that low, open variation of the lunge. Looking forward. Inhale. And exhale into downward facing dog. Let's do a slow motion vinyasa again. Inhale, heels lifted, hips lifted, rounding the spine. Come all the way up. Exhale into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And lift the hips, keep the feet the way they are until you come all the way up. Engage the lower belly and simply roll over. Let's do the left side. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, knee to the chest and your shoulders over your hands, rounding the spine. Inhale, push the foot up. And bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale. And straighten the leg. Step the left foot in between your hands and lower the right knee to the ground. Lift yourself up once again. Hips forward, shoulders roll back. Head up. Inhale. Exhale, hands down to the inside of the left foot. Walk the left foot out. Sink low with the hip. Open chest. Deep inhales. And then once again, let's go for Malasana yogic squat. Step the right foot out. Sinking low, hands to the heart. Elongate the spine. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Lift your hips. Once again, maybe hands on the shins, maybe hands to the ground. Lift the tailbone, arch the lower back, lower belly engaged. Look forward, inhale. And then exhale, sink back down into your squat position, Malasana. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground now. Once again, left foot. Sink down. Look forward. Low hip, opening up. Inhale. And exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, heels, hips, round your spine. And plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog. And lift the hips. Engage your lower belly and roll over. Look in between your hands. And then step, or if you rather, jump or float. Come forward towards the top of your mat. Folding forward. Option 1, grab a hold of your elbows and simply bend your knees. Option 2, grab a hold of your ankles and bring your elbows behind your calves, bringing the chest closer towards your thighs. All depends on how it feels in the back of your thighs. A couple of breaths here. Once again, notice now that you are still how you feel. What are the sensations in the physical body? And roll up, vertebra per vertebra, until you come all the way up. Keep the chin to the chest, let your head be the last thing that moves. And then once you're up, inhale, lift your arms up towards the sky. Look towards your thumbs. Exhale, lean to the right, push your hips to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, go down. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist your upper body towards the right, keep your hips square. Inhale, center. And then exhale, other way. Center. Hands together. Close your eyes. Press into your heels. Engage the front of your legs by gently lifting the kneecaps without blocking the knees, but to engage the thigh. Engage your mula bandha and lift the pelvic floor. Pull the lower belly in. Relax the shoulders so that you can let the shoulder blades sink towards your hips. Increase the space in between the rib cage and the hips. Strong lower belly. Slow breath. I have the right to feel. I have the right to feel. I have the right to feel. Keep that in mind and remember that life is pleasurable. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Release through your mouth. Eyes open. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky and look towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward. All the way down, bring the forehead down towards your knees. Inhale, flatten your back and look forward. And as you exhale, step the right foot back. Now, don't bring the knee down this time. Come into a high lunge instead. So reach up. Let your arms reach up. And then interlace your fingers and turn the palms towards the sky. Sink deeply into the front knee and press the back heel away. Now, on an inhale, elongate. And then as you exhale, reach back with your arms, open your chest, and keep sinking into your front knee in order to open up the psoas, to stretch it out. The front of your hips. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands down to the ground, and then straighten the front leg. Keep the back foot with the heel off the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Try to bring your upper body parallel to the ground. And then exhale, fold forward simply. Now, as you're folding forward, try to bring your left hip a little bit further back and allowing the right hip to come further forward. Just square up your hips. Strong foot on the ground, strong and straight leg. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back into downward facing dog. Slow motion vinyasa again. Inhale, heels. Hips round your spine. Come all the way up to plank position. Exhale, chakra. Inhale, upward dog. And lift your hips. Keep your feet the way they are. Engage the lower belly. Exhale, roll. Inhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Once again, come into a high lunge. Hips are squared forward, strong back leg. Sinking deeply into the front knee. Arms come up, interlace your fingers, and turn the palms towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen, create space. Exhale, reach back with your arms. Strong back leg, and sinking deeply into the front knee. Feel your hip flexor. Feel the psoas. One more breath. Exhale. Hands come down to the ground and straighten the front leg. Back heel off the ground. Let the left hip come forward and the right hip go back. Inhale, look forward. Bring your upper body parallel to the ground. And as you exhale, once again, fold forward. Stay there for a couple of breaths. Strong foot. Try to press into the big toe and the outer edge of the foot when you're standing here to feel the whole sensation of the leg. Take one more breath. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the left foot forward, folding forward. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Bring your hands together, look towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, step the left foot back. Once again, come into the high lunge. Reaching up. Now, sink first. Bring the hip forward. Lower belly in. Reach your arms up again. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, reach back. Strong back leg. Opening the chest. As you're standing here, see if you can keep connecting to the lower belly. Pulling it in. Lengthening the tailbone just a little bit in order to engage a little bit more and open up. Shooting your hips forward. Take one more breath. And then exhale, hands down. Now, a little bit different this time. So, back foot, turn it around, flatten it to the ground. Bring your right elbow to your knee, and then reach the left arm over your head. Look up. Sinking lower the hip. Allow the lower belly to pull in as your hip opens. Open the chest. Press into the outer edge of the back foot. Stay here, or come into a more advanced variation of this pose by bringing your right hand down to the ground. A couple of breaths. Feel your whole left side opening and the hip. One more inhale. Exhale, hand down to the ground and step back into downward facing dog. Heels lifted, hips lifted, rounding all the way up to plank position. And Chakra. Upward dog. And lift the hips. Engage the lower belly always. And roll over. Step your left foot in between your hands. Come into your high lunge. Once again, reaching up into legs and open. Sink into the front knee. Press into the back heel. Square up your hips. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, reach back. Remember, lower belly, holding, lifting the chest, allowing space to create in your lower back. One more breath. And then like on the other side, hands down. Now turn the back foot. Sink down, elbow to the knee. Hip comes low. We're imagining making a perfect diagonal all the way from the heel, through the hip, and up towards the fingers of the right hand. Stay here, or take it further, hand to the ground. Open, looking to the sky. One more inhale. Exhale, hand down to the ground. And come back forward. Step forward. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Look to your thumbs. And then exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, simply bend your knees and step, or if you rather, jump. Come back into plank position. Stay in plank. Press your heels back, lengthen the neck, lengthen the tailbone. Lower belly pulled in. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. Exhale, normal chaturanga, upward dog. And then bring your knees to the ground, wide apart. Big toes touching. And sink back with your hips. Now this is a variation of child's pose, which is an extended variation where we keep the spine more neutral than in the folding that we usually have in child's pose. You can even actually from here bring your chin towards the ground. Now at this point we're going to come into a different kind of dynamic. We're going to go faster, a little bit faster in the flow, just to create that flow sensation where alignment is less in the focus and the sensation of the movement is more in the focus. So, look in between your hands. On an inhale, slide forward, open your legs, lift your upper body into a variation of Bhujangasana. That would be even called seal if you would speak in certain terms. And then as you exhale, just come back into that child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Back into child's pose. Not yet going into any rounding. We've got still some strengthening work to do with the long spine. So let's wait with that kind of balasana child's pose for later. Coming to downward facing dog. Now, step your right foot in between your hands. Turn the left foot around. Come into warrior two. Virabhadrasana. So big stance, strong back leg, pressing into the outer edge, sinking deeply into the front knee without letting the knee coming further than your ankle. Upper body open, hip open, arms stretched out. Shoulder blades are working instead of the shoulders looking over your right hand. Now from here we're going to do 3 poses. First round we'll do them slowly to sink into, to create muscle memory. And then we'll go into a flow. Stay for, I would say, about 5 to 10 breaths in order to really build up the strength, to feel the core engaging as well. And then as you exhale next time, come into the reversed variation of the warrior pose, which means lifting the right arm up. Left hand comes down to the leg, sinking deeply into the front knee and opening the chest, looking up. Breathe. Feel the back leg being strong. The more you press the outer edge down, the more you're opening and creating space there. Now on the next exhalation, come into an extended angle and come into the first classical variation, simply because in the flow it will be more challenging to bring the hand all the way down to the ground while we're moving. Sinking low with the hip, trying to see your ankle from where you are. Looking up. Strong back leg, strong lower belly. And then come all the way back into your warrior two. And then from here, let's do this in a flow. Inhale in the pose. Exhale, reverse. Inhale here. Exhale, extend the arm. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, reverse. Inhale. Exhale, extend. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, reverse. Inhale. Exhale, extend. Inhale. Exhale, back into warrior two. Let's do one last round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Hands to the ground. Step back into downward facing dog. Come back on the ground into the extended variation of child's pose. And let's do 3 of that flow between a variation of Bhujangasana Cobra and the extended child's pose. Catch your breath, notice how the body feels. Inhale, slide out, open up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come back into downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Step the left foot in between your hands. Turning the right foot around and coming into warrior two. Just like on the other side, stay for between 5 to 10 breaths in each pose for the first round. Remember, open hips, creating space between your rib cage and your hips. Lower belly in, lengthening, pressing into the back leg. On your next exhalation, come into the reversed variation, sinking deeply into the front knee and reaching back with your arm, opening the chest. A few more breaths here. And then again, elbow to the knee, reach the right arm over your head. Looking towards your ankle, see the alignment between the ankle and the hip and the arm. And then come back up in order to do the flow. Let's see. Inhale. Exhale. 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 Let's do one more round. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And come back. Downward facing dog. Once again, three rounds of Bhujangasana and Balasana variations. Knees to the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come into the traditional rounded variation of child's pose. Bring your knees together, hands by the sides of your feet and forehead to the ground. Allow your breath to settle. Feel the rounding of the spine, lengthen the tailbone. And come back into the body. Feel how the body feels now, once again after having moved around and coming into stillness. What are the sensations that you're having? How can you seek pleasure in the sensations? Come back into downward facing dog. Inhale and lift the right leg up, push the heel away. Exhale, knee to the chest, shoulders over your hands, rounding the spine. Inhale, push the foot up again. Bend the knee and open it. Straight leg. And step the foot in between your hands. Now, come up. And from here, maybe just stay in this position if you can already feel a strong stretch in the thigh. If it's accessible to you, lift your back foot off the ground and grab a hold of it. Try to square the hips and the chest, looking forward. Maybe stay here, or maybe look towards my hand, turn, facing your fingers towards the body, and maybe even start to bring the foot towards your buttocks. Squaring up the hips, looking forward. A few calming breaths here. Even see if you can close your eyes. If you can close your eyes, I know it's challenging for balance, but it will allow you to notice as well the rhythm of your breath. When you notice the rhythm of your breath, your body automatically starts to slow down because the breath starts to slow down. And you will sink into the pose. You will more easily become present and you will actually notice what the sensations are, what you're feeling. Release. Hands to the ground. Start to push the hips back, stretching the front leg, flexing the foot. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward. As you're in this position, also once again see if you can bring the back hip, so the left one here, further forward and the right hip further back. Keep flexing the foot, turning the toes towards your face. And then start to bring the foot back down to the back. And once again, both hands to the inside of the right foot, like we did in the beginning, walking the right foot out. Now the option here would be to actually take this further and bring your elbows to the ground. Since we're coming into the more stretchy, gentle kind of poses compared to the more strengthening, healing standard, you can actually stay for as long as you want. In any, of course, but here you're starting to more feel and allow the body to relax into it. And then when you're ready, come back up on your hands, and we're making this into a pigeon pose. So walk the right foot all the way over towards the other side. Then let the knee sink down. And depending on how strong this stretch feels, you can put something underneath your right buttocks, or you can sink down if you can keep the hips squared. The foot can come quite close to the left thigh. Or if you're more advanced and more open in your hip, you're starting to lift that foot more and more parallel towards the front of your mat. Always remember that the main thing is to keep your hips squared. Also remember that your right knee should be further out than the hip, to keep that knee safe. Hands come to the ground. Maybe stay here for a few breaths. Now there are more advanced variations that you can of course try. And if you have it already in your practice, just use whatever feels good. That is the main thing today. Not doing so much for a result, but what feels good. You can also choose to walk your hands further forward, bring the elbows down, and even lay down. Now I would recommend to stay about 1 minute in this position if you can, but it could be 5, 10 breaths. And then simply bring your hands to the ground and step back into downward facing dog. To do the other side, lifting the left leg up, knee to the chest, shoulders over your hands. Lifting the foot up again. Bend the knee and open the hip. Straight leg. And step the foot in between your hands. Once again. Coming up. Maybe just staying here. Maybe hands on the knees and sinking down. Maybe lifting the back foot up. Maybe turning your hand around. Fingers to the toes and bring the foot in. Squaring up. Chest looking forward. Maybe closing your eyes. Focusing on your breath. Slowing it all down. Notice the sensation in your quadriceps, in the front of your thigh. And then finally, release. Hands down and push your hips back. Lift the front foot. Square up your hips as much as you can. Lengthen the spine, create some space. And then exhale, sink forward. And come back up. Bring the foot down. And let's go towards that lizard pose again. Hands to the inside of the foot, walking the left foot out. Just stay here or bring your elbows to the ground. and then coming back on your hands. Pigeon pose. Walk the left foot over. Knee down. Find the position of your hips. Use props if needed. Hands to the ground. Maybe just stay there. Maybe bring your elbows down. Maybe lay down. And then when you've done as much as you've done on the other side, come back up. Now instead of going back into downward dog, bring the right foot forward. I'm going to turn towards you and we're going into a double pigeon. So keep that leg the way it is, but then just bring the right foot on top of the left knee. See if you can place both shins parallel. Hands down. Stay there, sink into your hips and start to walk your fingers forward. Maybe you can go a little bit forward. Maybe you can go a lot. Doesn't matter. Do not push it. It's a strong hip opener. Maybe walk your hands all the way over towards the right, pressing the left bum into the ground, reaching away, stretching from the hip all the way through the waistline, and then all the way over towards the other side as well. And then back to center. Coming back up, stretching your legs out in front of you. Let's do one Paschimottanasana, forward fold in between sides. Walk the sitting bones out. Lift your chest, lift your arms, inhaling. Exhale, fold forward. Grab a hold of your knees, your shins, your feet, or even clasp behind. Whatever works for you. Keep the legs straight. Inhale, lift the chest a little bit more. And then exhale, fold forward. And look up, sit up. Let's do the other side. So left leg was down first. This time right leg goes down. Left foot on top of right knee. I'm trying to bring your shins parallel. Hands down, stay there first. Sink into your hips. Maybe walk your hands forward, sinking a little bit down. Breathe into your hips. Walk your hands all the way over towards the other side, towards the left, pressing the right buttocks into the ground. A few breaths here. Stretch out the whole side from the hip through the waistline, and then all the way over towards the other side. Coming back to center and lift up. One last time, Paschimottanasana. Strong straight leg, active feet lifted, sitting bones comes out behind. Lift the chest, lift your arms, inhaling. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift your chest a little bit to lengthen, and then exhale, fold down. And look up. Sit up. Come seated in Dandasana, staff pose. Hands by the sides, still just as active legs. And lengthen your spine. Chin gently pulled in, eyes down or eyes closed. Once again, what are you feeling? What are these sensations? Now you are welcome to invert, to do any kind of inversion that you enjoy. Headstand, shoulder stand. Choose whatever suits you or simply follow me. Lay down, Shavasana. Roll down. Feet as wide as your mat. Falling out. Arms in a comfortable distance to the body. Hands turned towards the sky. Take 2 deep breaths. Inhale. Through the mouth. 1 more. Inhale. And rest for as long as you wish.